welcome to the first of our YouTube videos on Pilates terminology for Channy Oddy's queuing. This queuing is for those of you who will be joining our online Zoom classes at Pilates in Port Elizabeth during the lockdown, and all proceeds from that is going to charity to help people that are less fortunate than ourselves during this COVID-19 pandemic. This is my daughter Megan, and she's going to be demonstrating while I cue. This means that if you come to my classes and I say a word, you can have understood it because you've already gone over the guidelines. First of all, pain do's and don'ts. We stay away from pain. If it's hurting you, don't use it. Your neck is sore. When you put your chin on your chest, don't put your chin on your chest. Your shoulder hurts when we do a big circle, don't use your shoulder. Your lower back hurts when we roll backwards and forwards, don't roll backwards and forwards. So please, first and foremost, if it hurts, stay away. We work all the muscles around the pain, and then with some luck, everything else starts to work beautifully and the pain goes away. So let's go through the first three most important guidelines for today. Those are Pilates stance, Trinity and scoop, and my beautiful Maggie is going to be our model, and I've asked her to come across here and put her feet up so that you can see what I mean by Pilates stance. If your feet are in parallel, that means your toes are together, your insteps together, your heels are together, that's parallel legs. We want to do Pilates stance, which is her feet as if this was a clock at 10 to 2. Okay, it's not a ballerina pose where her feet are all the way turned out to the side here. Her feet remain at 10 to 2, a slight little turnout with her heels connected. Okay, once we have her heels connected, and that is called Pilates stance, I'll either say heels together, toes apart, or cue it as Pilates stance. The next thing to consider is what I call, well, I don't call it, what is called Trinity, which is the connection in 3 points. The heel connection, and she's getting that heel connection because she is squeezing her sitting bones together, and I shouldn't be able to get my finger through there. She's working really hard against me and I'm pushing really hard and she's winning. The next one, point 1. Point 2 is a zip up between the inner thighs. From the kneecap, zip it, zip it, zip it, zip it, zip it. And your third point is a lift through the pelvic floor. So for men, the easiest way to explain this is to imagine you're walking into ice cold water and oops, you don't want your balls getting wet. So you're going to lift your pelvic floor. Girls, you can imagine something similar and you'll connect your pelvic floor. So those three remain your Trinity. Your bottom's working because your heels are connected. Your inner thighs are working and your pelvic floor is lifting. And that is exhausting. Okay, I will cue it again and again and again because as soon as I don't cue it, trust me, you're going to let it go. But down the line, this helps with so many of the exercises. So we have Pilates stance, which is heels together, toes apart. Trinity, which is heels, inner thighs and pelvic floor. And the last and most important one is the scoop. And Maggie's going to turn sideways so I can explain scoop to you. With her in Pilates stance, Trinity, we now need to discuss what happens with the back. So if I lift her arm up over here, we get to see that at this stage her back is completely off the mat, and that's dangerous when she starts to lift her legs up and she doesn't have the full strength for it. So we want to feel supported by the earth. So she's going to go into Trinity. So with her pelvic floor lifting, you can see that already her back is feeling, getting down to the mat better. If you have a very hollowed out back, and yes, most of you probably do, you want to consider softening the knees. Now, softening the knees means that you don't hold them tight, you keep them slightly bent. It'll help the back go down. And if that doesn't help the back go down, you can bend the knees even more so that you can feel your back on the mat, okay? So from this position with our back beautifully supported, you can see she's beautifully supported here, we're going to discuss scoop. Scoop, think of your stomach as an ice cream container. We're going to scoop the big spoon in just above the pubic bone. We're going to run it along the spine and lift it up at the other side. And what that happens is that her stomach scoops down and away. We do not brace our stomachs. Maggie, give me a brace. If you see if she's bracing her stomach, if she's forcing her back onto the mat, she starts to bake bread with her stomach here. Again, Maggie, give me a brace. Yeah, can you see that? That big bulge, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a scoop. a relaxation, a softening back down to the mat. Pull the tummy in, the belly button runs down along the spine and up out the ribs. So those are the three things that you need to get the basics of. Pilates stance, the 3 points that make up Trinity, and the scoop, which includes the flattening onto the mat. Okay, easy peasy pie. That's one. Okay, how was that?
Good. I just realized it's not stopped yet.